Hi, everyone. Welcome to our market update. We do got some new data, so that's going to be exciting right there.
Boy, do we ever have some new data.
Oh, we always have new data. But let me just bring that on. While I'm bringing that up, you guys are the first time here. Please subscribe to wherever you're watching it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment while we're kind of going through everything, and we're here to help with any of your kind of real estate needs. But here, before we get into that, so we kind of talked yesterday about I think a couple weeks ago, about the detached market and the values. So I mean, we've stayed pretty consistent, as you can see, $1,080,000 for the detached median home price for March and April.
You have an echo.
Huh?
You have an echo going twice.
Oh, do I? Huh. I don't know what that could be then.
There we go.
Is it gone?
Yep.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Perfect.
Okay, and then we have the attached market. No real movement. That's kind of interesting. February, March, April, all the same median attached price. So that was kind of interesting. Not a lot of movement. The values haven't gone down, haven't gone up, have sit pretty steady. The funny thing is, or the interesting thing is, list to sold has gone down, even though the actual.
How much is that at right now? List to sold
99.4.
That's not that bad.
No, it came down from 1 million, so it's came down a little bit. But the funny thing is, you can spin this information as any way you want to spin it, and I could totally see someone saying, "Wow, list to sold has gone down over the last 2 months. It's gone down." And what does that mean? The market is getting softer. Well, what's the sold price? Well, that's besides the point. So, anyways.
It's like it's true. You can spin anything any way you want, which is evident like in the media, anywhere you look. So it's just like it just depends on how you're looking at it. And it's funny because the national average data came out. I have it listed right here, and it was basically home sales for the entire nation month over month are now up 6.1%. But if you watched our show last week, we talked about sales were down in San Diego by 5.9%. So it's like our sales are down, but the national average is up. So, some markets are better than others. And the reality of it is our market is tougher right now, but the tougher markets give a better opportunity for those that actually want to go out. Like me and you were talking about beforehand, with asking for credits, for asking for price reductions, for asking for different concessions, because you actually want the market to be a little bit slower when you're trying to buy a house. You don't want it to be, if you remember when we were doing this during the pandemic and everyone's like days on market's like 5 days and everything's 100,000 over list and there's 40 offers.
And you feel stressed out because now you're getting advice to say, hey, I'm going to waive my appraisal contingency. I'm going to waive my inspection contingency. I'm going to waive all this kind of stuff. And now you're buying stressed out, where a more normal market, you're buying with kind of aware of what's going on. Oh, this came up. All right, what's happening right here? Okay, maybe I do want to back out and kind of go with another one. Or maybe I want to see if the seller can take care of it instead of just, I have to get this property. If I don't get it, someone else is going to jump in. I mean, just that it makes the buying process
stressful.
Smoother. It's smoother if in the sense of it's not as crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, it's the other thing. Like if we're gonna dive into this, like let's take a look at this week. So last week we talked about this week was going to be a major week for lots of economic data. So I'm just going to roll into it really quick and tell you why it makes sense to you. So jobless claims, they were up 241,000. Continuing jobless claims, we now hit 1.92 million. Okay. ADP for the jobs created for the month of April, we only created 62,000 versus 120,000 that we were supposed to create. And inflation, we're back down to 2.3% from 2.7. So why do I mention all this? Oh, and one last thing. GDP came in at negative 0.3. But that's only because 4.8% of that was all about imports that got imported from the tariffs. Other than that, you would have positive GDP. So why does all this come together to make full circle and make sense? Because it sets the market up for priming the Fed to start reducing rates because inflation is low, the job market is now weak, GDP is negative, and we didn't create as many jobs as we thought we were going to do. All that means is softening, which means the Fed will finally look at it and go, okay, they're kind of hurting now. Maybe we should cut rates. So that doesn't mean mortgage rates go down. Doesn't mean that, but it's just setting us up.
When do they schedule to meet next?
Oh, I don't know, actually. Let me.
Because do you think they would have, I mean, is it that bad where they might have a special meeting?
I don't think so.
Okay. So remember, guys, usually we start seeing the effects about 2 weeks beforehand of what's actually happening with mortgages. So this is
May 6th. Right. Wow. That's May 6th and May 7th.
Oh, wow. So it's so we should start hearing stuff about it now then, right?
I mean, we could go into the options market and I mean, let's look at this. Options market for interest rates. Interest rate predictions. We could take a look. But I mean, literally, it's like that's all the data you wanted that just came out for the Fed to maybe to go, okay, we're going to lower by a quarter.
So we should start seeing the effects of I mean,
probably tomorrow.
Positive, huh?
Tomorrow, because tomorrow you have the Bureau of Labor Statistics coming out report, and if that comes in bad, that pretty much sets you up next week. Where I mean, it's not saying the Fed has to do it, but it's very it does put some stuff on the table. Let's see. Here it is. The next Fed meeting is in 5 days, 18 hours, and 35 minutes.
Huh. So that's pretty interesting there. So if you're getting locked in on a property right now, let's say you're looking at buying a property, you're with your agents or your agent, it could be a good avenue to get it locked in now and take advantage of the dip. We saw that little bit of a dip for just a couple days, and then we shot back up, and we've kind of been going a downward trend. And I mean, if the data that Dave was talking about, you could see some positivity happening tomorrow and possibly Monday.
Let's send you this because we're not going to look that good right here. But pull this up on the screen for everybody. This is saying, this is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange options market is saying there's a 95% chance when the Fed meets on the 6th and 7th that they do absolutely nothing.
Oh.
Scroll down. See that 95%? Yeah. That's what the options market is predicting will happen. Nothing.
So I guess we won't see as good of rates, but
yeah. But I mean, the more
we'll stick with that 5%.
5%. Don't hold your breath, my friend. You may pass out. I mean, that data basically said they could lower things by a quarter. So who knows? But usually this market is pretty gosh darn accurate.
So yeah, food for thought. I mean, you just have to be up to date of what's going on with the market. Have a lender on your side. Also have an idea of the realtor you plan to work with to assessing the different markets. I mean, the markets do change and change pretty consistently. And you also know too with the properties, right? Is there ability to get a credit? When should I lock in the rate? Should I wait a couple of days? Should I lock it in now? All these kind of questions, you really have to have the team coming together to know what's possible and doable. Because, I mean, how much is a 2-1 buy down? I know it's something that we talked about in the long past.
It's going to depend on the purchase price and the.
Let's say $1 million.
I mean, so your average, I would say you're going to probably pay 2 percentage points to use that 2-1 buy down.
Okay, so 2 percentage points, right? So if a property is overpriced by, let's say, 1 percentage point or 2 percentage points, right? You could always go in at that list price, but then ask for a 2 percentage point closing cost credit to offset that 2-1 buy down. And then it kind of helps you out there, right? So understanding what's even doable, what's possible, that's why you really need a team on your side to kind of give you the options that might make it easier for you.
The team aspect, which a lot of people think you can operate as a lone wolf in the real estate market, probably not the best strategy. You do want to work with, you want a great realtor and you want a great lender because you want a team effort to get the deal, to hold the deal together, and then to close the deal. Because do you have the fallout ratio by any chance, Vinnie? Do you have a fallout ratio you can pull up? How many escrows fall out? I know we're running out of time, but That's also an interesting statistic because when you don't work as a great team, a lot of transactions fall out.
No,
that's a bummer.
Yeah, I don't think that has that data.
That's a hard one to pull up.
Yeah. But anyways, please guys subscribe, share, reach out with any sort of questions. We are here to help.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.